Everybody, what's going on? Slick the Gamer, Scott W. Perry here, and welcome to another edition of Retro Chronicles, where we take a look at the history of WWF, WWE video games. And here we are, episode 11, and after 10 episodes of dealing with mainly cartridge or disc-based computer games, we're finally going into the realm of CD technology in our first console CD release. In late 1993, the Sega CD had gained steam and was a big release. I have a nostalgic value to the Sega CD. It was the first system that I ever bought with my own money when I worked. And one of the reasons why, there were actually two reasons why I wanted to get it. Number one was the Sega CD release of Mortal Kombat, which you can see behind me. Yeah, it's the arcade. Check out my arcade one-up review on that. But that was one reason. The other reason was that the WWF, WWE put out a Sega CD game. And, you know, in keeping with the contrast of the Royal Rumble game that just came out, this is kind of like a side companion. But instead of going the Rumble route, they decided to add one element from a previous game that they deemed successful. And for that, they decided to go to the cage. WWF Rage in the Cage for the Sega CD. Now, at the time, this had an unprecedented 20 superstars in the roster, and the majority of who you see in both the Super Nintendo and Genesis versions of Royal Rumble are here, with a few surprising additions and omissions. For late 1993, actually mid 1993 is where the roster really shines here. There's a great representation of the main stars of the WWF at the time, and the roster to the date is probably the best that we had up until this point. When you have 20, it really shines. And here we have, listening to 20 and some in an interview, Macho Man Randy Savage, Shawn Michaels, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, and Erwin R. Scheister, so Money Inc. are well represented, Tatanka, Mr. Perfect, the model Rick Martel, Crush, Bam Bam Bigelow making his return from WrestleMania for the Nintendo. He made his return after a 4-year absence. Bret the Hitman Hart, Yokozuna, the Big Boss Man, The Undertaker, Razor Ramon, the narcissist Lex Luger, and making their WWF video game debuts are Kamala, Knobs and Sags of the Nasty Boys, and Fatu and Samu, the Head Shrinkers. Now, you have 20 superstars, and it's great. And the opening video of this is truly great. They have full motion video from certain WWF events. You see like certain things. Nice music, nice graphics coming in. When you look at the wrestler selection screen, if you hit the A button, it shows... it's grainy, it's black and white, but at the time this was revolutionary. But you saw a video of that superstar performing their finisher move. So if you, for instance, picked Bret Hart, you would see footage of Bret Hart putting the sharpshooter on somebody. If you, picked Randy Savage, you would see Savage with the elbow drop. The biggest problem that I have with this game is that you have 20 superstars. You have 3 tag teams represented in it, and you can only have one-on-one matches. The choices are one-on-one, brawl, or tournament. Now, tournament, you take on the other 19 superstars in one-on-one matches. And I feel that really limits this game, because if you're going to have tag teams, at least have a tag team match. I don't understand why they weren't able to do that in this. However, the gameplay is identical to Royal Rumble on the Genesis. So if you have Royal Rumble for the Genesis and have this, it is perfectly identical. And the graphics are spot on in terms of that. The wrestlers look great. Howard Finkel's voice introduces everybody, which is great. And then you get a nice little sound bite of each superstar taunting their opponent. Here's a great one from Randy Savage. Just listen.
To my right, from Sarasota, Florida, weighing 245 pounds, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah, it's the Macho Man. Everybody get ready to get down. It's party time. We're going to do the thing in the ring. Oh, yeah, get ready. Dig it.
All right, here's another one from Bam Bam Bigelow.
You might as well submit right now, punk, because you don't have the guts to beat me.
Finally, one of my favorites here is Bret Hart taunting his opponent.
Get ready for the wrestling lesson of your life.
And then when you win the match, Finkel introduces you as the winner, you know, the wrestlers win, and the winner of this bout. And it's really great to hear the late, great Howard Finkel's voice in the game. We had only seen him in previous games, so to actually hear his voice is great in it.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. To my left, from Minnesota, weighing 263 pounds, Mr. Perfect.
Do you really think you can handle the most perfect wrestler there is?
To my right, from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, weighing 234 pounds, Bret Hitman Hart.
There isn't a wrestler alive who can match the Hitman's excellence of execution.
Here is your winner, Bret Hitman Hart.
The music, the renditions of the theme songs are good. They're identical to the Genesis version. I would have liked to, with the CD technology, see if they would have put the actual themes in there. You know, we're just a couple of years away from that, but it would have been a nice touch to see that. The cage matches are good, nothing special. The blue steel bars look great. You're not able to throw your opponent into the ropes, and there's a certain weird button combination you have to hit in order to get your guy out of the cage. It takes me a while to do it, especially if you use a 3-button Genesis controller. If you have a 6-button controller, it works a little bit better. You're kind of able to do it, but you can have some really good matches in it. What I also like about the game is when you play the tournament mode. Now, in the Genesis and Super Nintendo versions, you would just see a graphic. It looks like a WWF magazine cover with just the still graphic of your guy at the selection screen saying new WWF champion. In this one, it's really great. Howard Finkel introduces, he announces the winner of this bout and his trademark
New World Wrestling Federation Champion, Bret Hitman Hart.
You get a video of that superstar celebrating a win. It's extra special if your superstar was a champion at the time. So Bret Hart, it's funny, Bret Hart I think has the Intercontinental title, Shawn Michaels has a title, but it's really cool to see that they did their best to implement the real footage at the time. With it. So, you know, full motion video was on the rise. People were unsure what it was going to be. And the Sega CD was filled with a lot of, you know, interactive movie experiences. So I think they tried to put too much into it. And I think because they put a lot of full motion video in, I think it suffered from the gameplay. And I think that's probably the main reason why we didn't get the tag team matches or we didn't get the triple threat or at least the Royal Rumble. I mean, can you imagine at the time, if they had a Royal Rumble mode in this, I think it would have been a lot better. You know, to start with 6 and then they go out just to go right into 20. You know, nowadays we kind of take for granted because, you know, in the current games we have like 30-man, and sometimes for a couple of years we had a 40-man Royal Rumble. And I think we take for granted some of these things. And if we would have had that in this game, I think it would have been great. But overall, I really think the game is good. It's not great. It is a good addition to the library. It is the only game that came out for the Sega CD, and I understand why the CD didn't have a long lifespan for it. But it did help WWE at the time, Acclaim, LJN. You know, really, I think it helped them understand where they needed to go with it. And it's ironic because in the near future, you know, this and this will mend together, and that's for a future episode, and we'll talk about that soon. But I think, you know, for a game of its time that really encapsulated the beginning of the new generation era, and the fact that you had a good variety of 20 wrestlers, it was only one-on-one matches, but, you know, the fact that you can have them and you can play them, and all of the finishing maneuvers are spot on. I mean, they're identical to what they were in real life, and they're all executed really, really well. You know, makes it a decent game. I wouldn't say it's a great one, but it's a decent one. But we would have bigger and better things to come. But at the time, Rage of the Cage for Sega CD, really fun game. Check it out. All right, that's it for this edition of Retro Chronicles. Next time, we're going to get raw. look out for that. Thank you, everybody, for all the views and support. Take care. Have a happy holidays. Take care.
The winner of this bout and new World Wrestling Federation champion, The Undertaker.